including the video version.
Moon Club podcast number 197, YouTube version. The podcast will start in about 2 or 3 minutes.
We're going to be
197 with a podcast in y'all.
The only difference will be it will now be available on the lock.
Okay, so we don't have much, but I think we'll be all right.
Oh yeah, you know we can talk.
We can riff.
Oh, one thing I was thinking about is public water fountains. Are we ever going back to that?
What do you mean?
Public water fountains.
What about public water fountains?
Would you use one?
Do I? Would I?
Yeah, I don't think I would.
I was even wondering, are they on right now?
They're not. I know because I took my bike on the trail Saturday and I tried to fill up at one.
Because I was wondering if the dog bowls were.
Nope.
I took my dog for a walk on the trail. I asked this dude who was also walking his dog coming from the opposite direction. I said, yo man, you know, he like kept going while I was talking to him.
Yeah, no, the city has them all shut off.
Dogs got to drink. Dogs will hunt.
Dogs can get coronavirus.
Apparently.
Let's change his son's name again.
Who did?
Elon. His
Scientists say your mind isn't confined to your brain or even your body. That's interesting.
Well,
Keep that.
is that? Do we get into the
Just in
whole
case.
perception thing there?
That would make my son so mad.
Your mind.
Yep.
But it makes sense because, you know, when you have, when somebody gets an organ transplant, sometimes they have memories of the person's memories start
Right.
to, yeah, so.
Did you hear about that NASA found a parallel universe? And they believe that time is running backwards? And that's
Yeah.
said universe?
That's something we should talk about.
Yeah, I don't think, like,
That's true.
space-time continuum, like, I don't think time really exists like we think it does.
I think it was created when the Big Bang happened, and it's the expansion of the universe.
Well, that's what they said, this other parallel universe happened.
I think time's just something that was invented so everything didn't happen at once.
That's dead.
You know what I say? Time, 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 look what's become of me.
I've heard you say it many times. A partridge in a pear tree. All right, we got 15 seconds.
You got J Mac ready?
Yeah,
15 seconds. I was thinking bang one out real quick.
Right.
for sure.
Oh, shizzle.
Right back.
Oh, hey. This table covers a lot. I actually feel like a newscaster. No pants on. No
Keep
pants
taking
Tuesday.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or
Get the
later,
dollars
gotta
out.
put you down. Sooner or later,
get
gotta
up on the
put you
table.
down. Sooner or later, gotta put you
I'm
down.
walking Steve
Sooner or later, gotta put you down. Gonna tell that long-tongued liar. Gonna tell that midnight rider.
Sounds like it's
Tell
only
the
on one
rambler,
show.
the gambler,
Wow.
the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down.
Coming to you in
Let
Milevision
me tell you
today.
the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, Jay, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar.
Maybe I'm not on the move
Go
these
tell
days.
that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell them that God's gonna cut them down. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. You may throw your rock and hide your hand. Working in the dark.
Coming to you
against the
live
man.
on MJ
Sure
Adams.
as God made black and white. What's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long
Yeah, shit.
time.
It's on my
Run
days.
on for a long time. Run on
This is why you can't be
for a
playing that
long
shit-ass
time.
music
Sooner or
before the
later,
podcast.
gotta
See, this is on you, Austin.
Tell that long-tongued liar.
Totally on you.
Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell them the God's gonna cut you down. Tell them the God's gonna cut you down. Let you run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time.
This phone is hot.
Gotta cut you down.
What's that?
This phone is hot.
Yeah. That's the 6 that you dropped in the puddle, right?
Yo, you can never touch this. It's
Yeah, I
just
think
too
so.
much substance. I broke through the chains it away with the cufflinks. You can make a scene, but to me, it's nothing. You never match what a breakthrough in fashion. I'll resist the fabric and bring it back surely. Seen you on the shore, you repping the wrong jersey. Nah, I mean, they on the wrong team. Paper chasers screaming out cream. Lord deliver us, you know I ain't giving up. They just wanna live it up on scratch offs and 50 bucks. Praise to the silly luck, I gotta keep it 100. Run it, clean how I done it. Get it, I operate like City Hall. Gotta put my city on. Didn't fit the first time, but I've been growing into it. They all getting giddy gone. It's going to say I pity y'all. I'm too busy nodding, rather not respond to kitty calls. Y'all can get your quickie on. Watch what you slipping on, girl. What you sipping on, dog. What you barking about. I'd rather be penniless, making 3 cents. You living in a glass house, high rent, solo. I do it on my own, no YOLO. I never get cut. Kodo for sure though. Pardon me, my God. I'm calling on them all. Can't stall. I gotta tell them all. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. Sooner or later, gotta put you
window
down.
business.
Don't tell that long-tongued liar. Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down.
Peace. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Lofty Dreams apartment, this is the Moon Club podcast with AJ and MJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon. No subject will ever be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adelman, Bloomington Normal's premier realtor for the Jewett-Home selling team, the RE/MAX Rising, and I want to be your realtor, and I'll hustle everybody all day, every day, and then double up on Sunday to prove it.
The show.
Austin, why don't you do your thing? I'm going to check this. I'm going to reboot this Bluetooth speaker because it sounds like Dookie.
How about I do State of the Moon? Well, this is where I say we're currently in the loft of dreams until the studio gets fixed. Good evening, you lovely lunatics.
I'm just calling them fucking lunatics.
It is currently 6:04 p.m. Tuesday, May 26, 2020. The moon came up at 8:40 a.m. and it will go down at 12:06 a.m. It is currently waxing crescent. It is 19% illuminated. It's real close to us. It's currently 384,772 kilometers away from it. It's 3 days old, and it is currently in the sign of Cancer.
Ooh. Fuck cancer. What's up, peeps?
What's up, lunatics?
Are you done with your thing?
Yes.
Okay.
He's been done. He was done before he started.
Take them teeth out when you sucking my dick, ho.
That sounds better,
Hey now.
right? That
Yeah,
sounds
really good.
more like,
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. It definitely has a familiar ring to it.
Tastes mighty good, though. Mind if I have some more?
Hey.
Baby, how you feeling?
yeah. I think we got rid of the mono sounding thing. So,
Sound
all right,
good.
the weekly Jason Silva is on Where Art and Science Meet. And this is an old one, but a good one, and we haven't played it in a while. So, here we go. Jason Silva waxing poetic like only Jason Silva can.
Let's kick it.
Design is the wallpaper of the mind. It infuses our perception of existence. There's a sweet spot where art and science meet. A spot between dimensions where reality and surreality interconnect. An equation of curiosity, imagination, surrealism, and whimsy. This is the Irrepressible Hotel EMC2.
Hit that line.
David Lenson wrote that human consciousness is a collaboration, a meeting point between subject and object, person and space. Our spaces are constructs and housings for our minds, frameworks for our consciousness. What we design, in turn, designs us back. Stephen Johnson echoed this when he suggested our thoughts shape our spaces, and then our spaces return the favor. We recognize it instinctively, implicitly. There's harmony, there's elegance. This extends to every detail at Hotel EMC too. The lighting, the service, the food, the art, the colors, the shapes, the design, delighting us and eliciting our inner whimsy, our sense of wonder. Terence McKenna said, "You become what you behold." We can therefore design certain qualities directly into our spaces. We can script architecture with the qualities that we wish to revere and embody. A science as much as an art, good architecture embodies both artistic imagination and mathematical genius, where art meets science. Good design marries science and art. Good design can change perception, heighten mood, shift psychology. Good design is a poetic expression of mathematical elegance, and its effects are akin to an altered state of consciousness. Study the science of art, wrote Da Vinci. Study the art of science. Develop your senses. Learn to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. Exactly like nothing else.
So that's a real place, huh?
That's pretty cool. He said the EMC2 Hotel.
Yeah. We should
I'll
make
check it out.
We should make it a point to do a podcast from there someday.
Fuck yeah.
That'd be awesome. I'll
Yeah.
check it out. My youngest son Jordan would definitely be interested in a place like that.
Yeah, where art and science meet.
And mathematics and just all kinds of amazement.
Steve, what did you do today?
What I did today was positively nothing.
Really?
How about yourself?
Went downstairs to open the shop and had a bunch of real estate stuff to deal with. Showed some houses. Actually, showed some houses at 11. Then actually listed a house, so I had to take that information back to Remax Rising.
These
Got
go
back
to
the
11.
shop. Basically, I didn't have a chance to do any computer work in the shop today, which is starting to be a problem because,
Starting to build up,
yeah.
needing some help.
No, there's just not enough hours in the day
Yeah.
to do it all.
Well, it's nice. Fortunate that it's still going. I think the COVID-19 has me just waiting. You know what I mean? I'm in limbo, waiting to go to work.
A holding pattern, right?
When I said I did nothing, I took the dog for a walk this morning, ran a couple errands for my mom, went to see her at the nursing home, the best we can with the window visits, try to keep her spirits up and stuff. What I consider, nothing run of the mill though, because I didn't have a job to go to or anything specific. I really didn't even have an agenda.
Now, Friday, we're supposed to start getting some of our restaurants and stuff back. Outdoor eating, I think.
Yeah.
Will that affect you at all?
I'm not sure, but I do know my son, my oldest son has went back to work. He's been doing factory work. He went back to work this past week, and then my youngest son, he does the restaurant work, and they're supposedly having a meeting tonight, I believe, to discuss what they're going to do and how they're going to move forward from now on. So I'll know a little bit more about that. But as far as my work, we're really dependent on our corporate sponsor.
So until State Farm goes back, you're probably not going back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, or even if they go back sparsely, then they might do the same with us. Hopefully I'm in that first round, because like I said, I need a sense of purpose, although my hands may get busier as time
Austin, move
progresses.
that chair out there so you can sit in the middle. What's wrong with you, man?
Sorry.
Come on, you're better than that.
You moved over an inch.
Yeah. But anyway, man, I hope you are able to go back to work soon, and
Yeah.
we got to get through this. I think I was telling you guys before we started the podcast, and I was reading, or actually I heard on the radio this morning that Illinois ranks 51st in the nation of restrictions on the state. So we have the most restrictions, and I know everybody says, hold on, MJ, there's only 50 states. Well, they're counting, for some reason, Washington, D.C. is included in there too, and we are even more restricted than them.
Well,
So,
Well, and I think,
Illinois politics.
Exactly, and I think there's a lot of people that have a problem with our Illinois politics, and they're actually even suing the government.
Dude,
Well, they did
businesses
that
are
in
leaving.
Wisconsin. There's going to be a major problem. Look, there's no reason for us in McLean County, and I know like Pritzker like divided the state into 5 areas, and I thought we were going to start like downstate should start being able to relax some of the restrictions before Chicago, right? Like
Yeah.
we
Due
have a
to
lot less
population.
problem down here, right? At some point, man, people have to be given the chance to go back to work. Like the cure for this can't be worse than, you know, the fucking disease, which
Right.
I don't know. But at the same time, I'm worried about a second wave. Like when you have a disease that people can carry asymptomatic for days,
11 days.
it's going to be kind of hard to ever get rid of it, right?
Right.
Until we have a vaccine. If we ever have one, we may never have one. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure that our nursing home visits or even prison visits will return to the same this year. I'm real curious because they're talking about, bringing back sports, and of course our colleges are getting ready to start back up, and there's that, should we bring students back? Should we teach online? If we don't, are we going to be able to bring our student athletes back and tell our other students to stay at home? And
Whatever, I mean, I know, and I bitch about Illinois having the worst restrictions, but at the same time, we have to be very careful how we start doing things. We have to be smart about it. I don't think that's what we're doing, but
Businesses are leaving Illinois in record numbers. State Farm's even going to like Houston and stuff. Why not though? No income tax, right? Save billions.
I think a lot of companies are thinking this because you got to look at the corporate side of it. They're making money hand over fist. If you can work from home and then all of a sudden they can reduce their thousands of dollars per square feet that they're paying in office,
Yeah.
and keep you at
Yeah.
home, then they're going
Well-
to do that. But the small businesses, it's killing, and I really hope, that the mom and pop shops,
there's a lot of doors that have been shuttered already.
Yeah, a lot of them will never come back. Yeah.
Well, I did not know this, and I only found out today because we were going to donate some clothes, but the Mission Mart and stuff is closed.
Is it?
And it makes sense, but
Public
at the
service
same
announcement, you Moon Clubbers out there, that's a public service announcement. We do that just for you.
time, boom, dropped it.
Drop the mic, get on the mic, get on the mic, get on the mic, Steve.
But so I mean, and that just goes to show you that even
Minnie
at the
Sue said
very
State Farm
low-
isn't going to Houston. Well, she would know. So I apologize for that misinformation.
You heard it here first again.
Right.
We're like breaking news here. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's a lot of misinformation put out on this podcast. Just, full disclosure. If you're listening to the Moon Club podcast for facts and hard-hitting topical information, you're probably in the wrong place.
Right.
Wait
Yeah.
a second here.
We fired our fact checker.
Wait 1 second. I thought we had standards.
We do have standards and practices.
But they're
Okay.
fairly low.
All right.
Yeah.
Fairly low.
Yeah, and that's all that matters is that we have them.
Yeah. Standards and practices are in practice, and we practice a lot.
Practice. We talking about practice? Practice.
Practice.
Not a
Declan
game.
Danner says,
Practice?
"What the hell is Moon Club? Sorry, I hate space and science."
Who said that?
Danica Lynn Dahmer.
Sorry, Danica, we haven't mentioned space yet.
Yeah. Move on, Danica. This is the wrong podcast for you.
And Mindy Sue says the Moon Club podcast needs a fact checker for sure. I look hazy. I wonder if that
You do look hazy. I mean, I'm right here in person,
Yeah?
so I don't think it has anything to do with the
do I
computer.
look like
Wonder if the lens is fucked up.
do I look like Bigfoot?
Maybe Bigfoot
kinda.
just is blurry.
I at first I just thought it was medicine.
Yeah. Do I look like Japanese porn? Is that Japan that blurs out the?
I'm not sure because I just strictly watch anime porn now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't deal with the hard stuff.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It does.
Oh, that looks a lot better.
It does alright.
It's never worked for me.
It's never
Animated porn?
And no.
Dude, I saw a porn the other day. I was at a friend's house.
You having trouble talking over there?
I got the hiccups.
Oh, okay.
I was at a friend's house the other day, and you ever seen the movie Frozen?
No.
Yeah, it's like they got Frozen porn. What's the name of the lead character in that?
I just said I hadn't seen
Okay.
it.
Have you seen Frozen?
I decline to answer that on the grounds it may incriminate me.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it doesn't make you a bad person if you've seen it.
It may.
May?
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what circles I want to be known.
I heard it was really good. Because my kids were a little older. I mean, they've seen it, but I don't. I didn't have to take them to it. I think maybe their mom did, or maybe they saw it by themselves, or whatever. But
Yeah.
like when my kids were younger, those animated movies were always like, you'd
The
circle the
shiznit?
calendar, like, oh, Mulan's coming out, next
Right.
month. Like, let's check that out. And Alex dug Mulan. That was like her jam when she was a kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Did I tell you, I got stopped the other day with Lucy walking down the alley. Some kids were coming out of Kellers and they wanted to get a picture with the Beast from Sandlot.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah, this kid like actually called his mom. He's like, Mom, guess who I'm with? The Beast from Sandlot.
I'm surprised
So,
there's kids that know that reference.
yeah, well, these kids were like 22, 23, and that's how old Alex is, and she can quote that movie verbatim.
It's a great movie though. Like
Yeah, it's
it transcends time. Like anybody,
Lot of
young
life
or
lessons.
old, and it holds up. Right?
Yeah.
You can go and watch that now, and it's a solid movie.
A lot of life lessons.
I've been
Yeah.
planning that for years.
Right.
When he kissed the lifeguard.
Yep.
That's a
You
hashtag
get the
Me
ball.
Too
Squints.
move there. Squints.
Michael Squints Polidorus, I think. Is that
I
right?
don't know. But Alex and Cassie could probably both quote that movie verbatim. Huh?
Cool.
Pretty,
Polidorus.
pretty close. Yeah.
I remember when Alex was a kid, she'd be watching Shrek, and when he would eat the eyeballs, she would jump behind the couch and close her eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, mine was Goonies.
Right.
I love
you, Chunk.
Goonies never say die. Yeah, that's kind of the same type of movie, kind of like kids not coming of age, because that'd be like more like losing your virginity. And hope these 10, 11-year-old kids aren't.
Yeah. No. Coming of age is a little different. That's more like a.
Remember Losing It with Tom Cruise, where they all got down to Tijuana. Tijuana, go to a gangbang. Yes, you do.
I remember that. Was that Tom Cruise?
Yeah, he was in that. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Where the hell is our fact checker?
Yeah.
And Hollywood Nights, one of our all-time favorites.
Those
That is a good one.
Horse shit!
That's a definite coming. of
Horse
age.
shit!
Crazy.
Did,
Yeah,
Turd.
did you
New
come-
bomb turd.
Memorial.
I've heard
I
of
remember
him.
that dude. Yeah.
Memorial Library.
Was that Michelle Pfeiffer's first movie?
No, but it was, I think, her third. It was very early.
Yeah.
But was it the other ones with the squeaky voice?
Fran Drescher?
Fran Drescher. Was it her first
Oh.
movie? I
Turd,
think
did
it-
you
Oh, it might have
come?
been.
I think
Did
so.
you come?
I'm glad I came.
I'm glad I came.
I'm glad I came.
Glad I came.
Just drive right through the flowers. Yeah.
Right.
they
Oh,
don't
we're
put-
figuring all this out next week anyway.
Does have a little wang in it.
He grabbed it with his dick.
Does have a little wang in it. Mighty good though. You mind if I have some more?
And then both them cops started having something. That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I had this taste in my mouth before.
So,
Officer. I dropped my puffer.
are they doing a Harlem Nights
Yes.
reboot?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And, but
Did we talk about that?
Hollywood's
Yes,
on
we
hold
did.
right now, I guess.
Last week.
Yeah.
But and I think they're doing no, I don't think it's Harlem Nights. I think it's Coming to America.
Yeah,
Yes.
Coming to
Yeah, that's what it
America,
is.
too.
That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they showed Arsenio Hall dressed up as the preacher.
That's
Cha!
right. That's right.
Cha!
We did talk about that.
Yeah.
We did talk about that. If loving the Lord's wrong, then I don't want to be right.
Right now, sexual chocolate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Randy Watson.
Sexual chocolate.
Sexual chocolate.
That boy is good.
Donations. We put the chocolate in there.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider that one a coming of age movie.
No, that was
Um,
just.
What was
But-
the one where he held the box up though? You know.
Oh,
he was playing?
That would be
Talking about
John
Cusack?
Cusack
Yeah.
and Pretty in Pink. No.
No, not
no.
High Fidelity. Mindy's gonna know this. Mindy's gonna come through with this.
Yes.
Immortal. Did it have the word immortal in
No,
it, or
no.
Emma?
He's like, it's a damn shame they throw a perfectly good white boy
Like
away.
that. $2.
I want my $2.
What's up, Aaron Haney?
What up, Aaron?
I don't know why I'm not seeing the comments though. Did Mindy comment? on
Losing
it?
made me want to get some Spanish fly for sure, Aaron. Yeah, that's. She said, say anything. And Aaron
Yeah.
Haney came out with that too. Mindy Sue by the nose on that one.
Yeah, I
Thank
knew she
y'all
would.
though.
I knew she would know that.
Fact checker.
Is that is that the same person that did like Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink?
Are you talking about the director?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do not know.
Mindy Sue come through on that one too. But yeah, those were all like coming of age movies, great movies. I think Breakfast Club. I remember Mom took Colleen to see that when she was still underage.
I'm gonna tell you what, I had the biggest crush on Molly Ringwald, and I love
Never
her.
did. Never did.
Pretty in Pink.
She was
Didn't see it.
cute. She
I
was
remember like
16 Candles.
Are you more Ali Sheedy type?
yeah, for sure. I think we had rented the VHS from Finnegan's Video and came back and watched because I heard so much about it, and I was like, hold on. Like we started watching, like, hold on, this whole movie's gonna take place in the detention hall.
Yeah.
Like this can't be good.
Yeah.
Right. It's all gonna be in here. I
Yeah.
just remember like I was stuck on that. I'm like, so they're gonna be in here the whole time.
Well, they
Emilio
escaped and went through the
Estevez.
halls, but yeah, it could have been a stage play. You know what? I've never thought about Breakfast Club. It could actually be a stage play.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've done that.
Yeah.
Somebody probably has done that.
If
John
not,
Hughes. Aaron Haney comes with John Hughes and Cameron Crowe.
Aaron Haney. Maybe Aaron Haney should come on the podcast.
Yeah, Aaron, you want to come on next week?
fact checker.
Yeah.
But I really don't want somebody telling me I'm wrong the whole damn time we're here.
No.
I mean,
No, we gotta have the ability to go sideways every once in a while, right? Go
Right.
off on a tangent that is just like
Right.
sideways
completely
is my
wrong.
way. I mean,
Yeah.
if you talk about Steve's way, it definitely is sideways.
right.
You
I
go
mean,
one way, I go the other way. Put a shoe so far up your ass.
You should never let the facts get in the way of a good story. I feel like that's kind of like that's a fact checker's job, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Like, hold on, that's
Remember-
not factual action. Like, fuck, you,
Horse
it's a good
shit!
story. It's a good story. Shut the fuck up.
Remember,
Horseshit!
Those fireworks?
Not John Hughes, but Cameron Crowe. It could be people shooting at one another. Everybody's going nuts.
Cameron Crowe was Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I'm pretty sure.
Mindy
That was
Sue
awesome
says she is
movie
the
as
OG
well.
fact checker, but it's a thankless job. That's for
Thank
sure.
you, Mindy.
Well, now it's not thankless, is it? Steve just thanked her.
Yeah.
Fact.
Fact.
We're nailing it now.
You know, we were talking about before the podcast about before Google how it's like if you wanted to, like, what's that song sang by this person? You'd call a fucking DJ, right?
That should be a new delimiter in time. Like we used to call it BG, before Google.
yeah,
Before
because Google fucked my game up, man. Because
Yeah.
before Google, I was an astronaut. Now,
Right.
Google, did Steve Traynor go to the moon? Hell to the no.
I always just say, you know, like when anybody ever asks me a question I don't know the answer to and I'm about ready to spit some bullshit, I say, well, as a former prosecutor, this is how I feel about that.
Right.
And nobody's ever challenged me on that.
Dispute.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know, I'm not a doctor necessarily, but I will take a look.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm all right with that. Yeah, but
After
now,
all, we are the gaping yodelers.
definitely. But now you can't even get away with it, like you said.
What, gaping?
No, without consent, and I like two forms of consent: one written, one verbal.
Yeah.
And
And then continue to ask permission while
Right.
the act is being
I'm
performed.
going to go ahead and drop a digit in your ass.
Right.
Are you okay with that?
or two,
Uh-huh.
or two.
And then when you switch to the Bad Dragon dildo, you ask them for permission once again because
Right.
you're stepping up the game.
Well, the Bad Dragon actually is bad. I mean, it does get a name.
Yeah,
But
Google
you know
Bad
what?
Dragon, people.
It kind of sucks though, because that's the time we're in, and you don't get those moments where, you know, like you say, you pull out the red dragon, all of a sudden you like
The
jam
Bad
it in
Dragon.
the backside, and she turns around and gives you that look like, I can't believe you did that, but
Right.
don't stop.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll give you 5 minutes to quit.
You got 10 minutes to stop, and then it's your turn. You know,
Because turnabout is fair play.
turnabout is definitely fair play, and you know. And I've said this for a long time, is we live in a society with Google, you know, so it's AG after Google. When you can
AG.
find out anything as soon as you need to. And then you say, well, this kid has ADD, he's not paying attention at school. Well, in his fucking pocket, he doesn't always have access to any porn he wants, but he also can ask any question. You go ahead and write a question up on the board, and before you get done writing
Sure.
it, he's going to have the answer to it because they let the kids have cell phones in class and,
Right.
and
I think
laptops.
I think ADD is a BG problem. That's before Google. But then
Right.
after Google,
Yeah.
everything is like Twitter and 30-second videos, and like you can have ADD because you don't have to have an attention span.
Right.
You can just be like, oh, this and then this. Oh, bright light over here. Like
Jason Silva said that attention span is a new limited resource.
it is.
Yeah.
Like the next generation or the generation after the millennials, attention span is probably going to be about 30 seconds
Right.
at
Well,
the
see,
most.
And that's another thing too,
Like Dora.
multitasking or being able to do one thing and hear another, gone.
Right. And you can't
Oh.
talk to somebody, a young kid, without
It-
without them going like, Like, hey,
Dude, you
put your
ever-
fucking phone down. I'm right here.
You ever try to talk to somebody that's on their phone and they just don't hear you whatsoever?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
And
right.
then they're like, "Oh, what did you say?" And you done
Right.
finished.
And you'll
And
try to
walk
tell them,
away.
be like, hey, put the phone down because you're not no, I can do both. No, you can't. You can't because I've told you the same thing 3 times.
"Yeah, I can do both because that's our generation."
Right.
I told you 3 times to put your dick away and you're on your phone.
Right.
You know, because we used to not have Google, so when a teacher called upon us when we were all huddled in the back talking or whatever, we had to still answer the fucking question.
Right.
So you had to be able to pay attention to what was going on and be in your own little conversation over
That's
here.
good though, BG and AG.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we had to do things like actually go outside and invent stuff to do, like pull a rope across the street.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And
Exactly.
catch lightning bugs.
Or just throw things at cars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Like, why did we think that was a good idea?
I don't know. But
Like-
it was just flowers. Remember when we put the fishing string across the street and it fucking slammed? It's like somebody went through it and like their antenna went boom and fucking slammed their window shield and probably broke it.
Show
And
me.
me, you and Eric Wright had to hide under a lilac bush in that alley over here off of Denver.
Yeah.
Remember?
Show me a
Remember
kid.
the Scorpions?
I ran over here towards Maysfield. Like
Yeah.
I was behind a house in Maysfield.
Yeah.
I think you guys went a different way.
Okay.
But nobody found me.
No, they didn't find us either.
Yeah.
Show me a kid that collects rocks nowadays, and he's very highly autistic.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
But back then we all had rock collections. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Pet
Well,
rocks.
I kept my
Polishing
rock
rocks,
collection.
pet rocks.
I kept my rock collection in the alley actually. Like I had all those rocks were mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
All
you had them all the good ones lined up to the side
for
that
that
I could
one,
drive on them and stuff.
Right. Right.
And then when we were, of age, when we came of age after watching our movies, our rocks became different rocks, and we're not going to talk about those. Those were dark times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has this house now or ever been used as a meth production facility?
That's Google.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When you say this house,
You know what? This
the
house used to be, it was the original Mother Murphy's. I don't know if you people know that, but that is a true fact.
We had that verified from the owner of Mother Murphy's.
Okay.
a true story.
And,
Yeah, I called him up because I didn't believe Austin.
and also,
Yeah, it really was.
my mom was,
We're talking about like late 60s, I think.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
my mom used to cut hair in this building, and my dad actually came into this building and proposed to her.
He
So,
came in this building and came into her.
yeah,
That's
And
hey,
then my sister was there.
Colleen.
yeah.
And speaking of, and this is a great time, and it's also, a little bit hard, but Ben's Memorial Day was yesterday. R.I.P. to all those that aren't with us right now that
Yeah,
we
some
that
gave-
we love greatly.
Some gave all gave some.
Yep, and we all, we still love, and there's still a place in our heart, and great memories.
Hey, I'm just trying to tell you, I put it on the line. I signed up. I joined the army. I was willing to die for my country. I came to that realization that look, if it happens, it happens. But I'm gonna fucking sign up. Luckily, I never had to see active combat. I was in a little bit hairy situations, but nothing where I ever felt like,
When you found
oh shit,
yourself,
I might not come back from this, and I'm glad. Like, and I never had to make the choice. Like, do I kill somebody, or, because that's like in the movie Reservoir Dogs, where the great actor Tony Soprano, who is what's his real name?
but no, that
says-
wasn't Reservoir Dogs. That was True Romance.
It was
He
True
says,
Romance. Yeah, he's like
that
the
first
first one.
time was
That's
the
the bitch of the bunch. Yeah.
I
Second
threw up
one
on
ain't
my
no
first
piece
one.
of cake either.
I threw up on my first one. You believe
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
And
But he's
I
in the first.
thought
Second,
the
I
hairy
don't-
situations you were referring to would be the Vietnamese girls.
No, they would be Korean.
They were Korean,
girls.
yeah.
Korean.
Yeah, and can you tell
Hey,
that story
Chinese,
about
Chinese,
They
when you,
taste the same from behind. They
yeah.
taste the same.
Can you tell a story about when you found yourself on the wrong side of the DMZ?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
so
now.
here's the thing: is so we were out on what we call a bivouac, right?
Yeah.
And we knew we were bivouacked about 2 clicks south of the DMV. And
DMZ.
Huh?
The you said DMZ.
Right by the DMV. It was a bitch.
the DMZ.
That's the other
And,
hell hole.
I just got up early one morning. I'm gonna go throw a piss, and I walked away from the camp, and then all of a sudden I noticed there were like, our South Korean soldiers were called Katusa, right? And
Yeah.
it's I forget what that acronym
Like
means.
friend or something.
Korean Army trained United States of America, I think. But these were not Katusas. These were North Korean soldiers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I fucked up. Like, and I'm like, I could see them there, and I'm like, which way is the camp?
Taking your buddies hiking? Or you went hiking
He
or
was
something?
pissing.
No, I just went out to take a business.
Oh,
trip.
okay.
But it turned out I wasn't north of the DMZ. I really wasn't, because I walked it out later. They were actually coming to the southern area. That's why they didn't fire. They didn't do anything. But yeah, I was about, because I had my weapon on me. I was like, if any of these motherfuckers come after me, like, am I gonna have to like make a decision here that I'm gonna regret for the rest of my life? But
Right.
they fucking, after about 30 seconds, I saw them running around and they took off the other way.
Yeah.
I
I was like,
remember.
well, that's why, because they were on the southern side.
They were just trying to blow the smoke, I think.
They were trying to scare the shit out of me, and it worked.
Yeah.
I remember the day the recruiter came to talk to us at your.
Oh yeah.
And the last words
What
he
was his
said.
name?
I don't even know.
Wait, I can tell you exactly what you're gonna say before you say it. Should I do it or should you do
Go
it?
ahead, do it.
Now, from what I've told you, Steve,
Are you ready to join?
are you ready to join?
I remember that too.
I said, hell no. And MJ's over there signing. And I was like, what the
Because
heck?
here's what I was thinking.
Okay,
I'm
from
like,
what I've told you.
Oh, he
must
did you
have said
well.
that.
He did you well.
no, yeah, here's
must
what
have
I'm
said that
thinking.
like
I'm
a
like,
dozen times,
if
right?
I want to go to college, if I ever want to have a college degree, I'm gonna have to do this first.
Right.
I'm gonna have to, because
Mom and
mom
Dad
and
paid
dad.
for it.
Well, they couldn't pay for
Right,
it. And
right,
that's
right.
fine. I couldn't pay for Alistair Cassie's either. It just shit just happens.
Yeah, it's like.
But I'm like, yeah, I have to do this. So I did it.
Well, you did put money from your when you hit that when you hit the jackpot with your money from. You put aside money for Cassie for her
For
career.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
When you hit some Bitcoin.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I remember
it
that.
was
That
like
came
a drop.
out.
It was a drop in the well.
Right.
I said, hell no. I look over and MJ's like this. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
was he just trying to get Steve because he was hanging out with you?
I mean,
It was all of us.
Sergeant Chambers, that was his name, right?
Sergeant Chambers.
Sergeant Chambers talked to a lot of people, and
Yeah.
the one person, remember Randy St. Benet?
No.
He's kind of quiet.
Was he from
nice.
Arkansas or something? Because I remember an accent. From what I've told you,
No,
are you
Oh,
ready
yeah,
to
him, he
join?
probably was. He probably was a
Yeah.
Southern guy. But
Are you ready?
Randy St. Benet, like, he had already signed up.
That sounds
he
like
was
a
ready to
UFC
go, and I'm
fighter.
like, well, I kind of know Randy St. Benet, so I talked to him about it. He's like, yeah, like, it's, because he was in the same boat. He's like, yeah, if you want to do a couple years, they have a 2-year enlistment right now, and they'll pay for your college. They'll just pay for it. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that. So
Remember in Stripes, and he goes, I figured I'd join before I got drafted. He's
Wait,
like,
There's
"The draft
no
is over."
draft.
wait, there
There
was
was
one?
Yeah. Who threw the shot put?
He's like, I like fast cars
And fast
fast women.
You know what? The
And
guys
you
in my-
homos touch my stuff.
I kill you.
I kid you.
And you homos call me Francis.
I kill you.
And I kid.
You know the guys in my car club call me Cruiser.
you.
They should have called you Dork. John Candy replies.
John Candy, he was great in that movie.
Right?
That was also an awesome movie.
You know what? We lost John Candy too fucking soon.
Damn straight. Planes, trains, automobiles.
What's up, Roy Rambo? Roy Rambo is listed as top fan.
What up, Roy? I believe Roy just had a birthday.
And Harang is watching too. She's my friend from Philippines? No.
Wherever you're from, what up?
What up?
Glad that you're watching.
Austin shared the stream.
Hey,
Roy
Ed,
Rambo, that's cool. It says top fan because he definitely watches every week. We love you, Roy.
well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you-
I'm kind of debating. I think probably Mindy should be the top fan, but whatever.
Well, hey, she's
Roy's
got to
top
put in
fan.
her time like Roy has.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the case.
Hey, it's a challenge, Mindy.
What's
What
up,
up
top
to you?
fan Roy?
So I'm down, like right now, from what I'm seeing, we only have like 700 people watching. Like, what's going on?
Right? Dude, we need a contract with Spotify.
We do, and should we let Joe Rogan
That
talk
was
about
a
why?
perfect segue.
Yeah.
Perfect segue.
Joe Rogan signed a $1 million a year.
No, 100 million.
What did I
You
say?
said 1 million.
Oh, did I?
I'll
Yeah,
take a
you're right.
million.
$100 million
I'll take $1 million.
a year to have his content available only on Spotify. It'll still be free.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be on iTunes. He's not going to be on
YouTube.
Podbean or whatever. Well,
And you know what? They're not going to talk about this on this, but since Spotify signed Joe Rogan, their stock has went up $1.7 billion.
right.
So the $100 million a year doesn't sound ridiculous.
Well, I admit, when I first heard it, I heard it like in a newscast in the morning. I'm like, fuck, Joe sold out. But he explains it here. He explains why he did it, and he explained, because I'm like, oh yeah, now we're gonna have to pay. No, it's nothing like
You know what? He in an interview he wouldn't even talk about the money. He said it's kind of makes me disgusted talking about this much money when some people aren't able to work.
But how much is it worth? It's worth $100 million.
Yeah. $100 million, I would have sold
Hello,
out.
everybody. I have an announcement. The podcast is moving to Spotify. I signed a multi-year licensing agreement with Spotify that will start on September 1st. Starting on September 1st, the entire JRE library will be available on Spotify as well as all the other platforms. Then somewhere around the end of the year, it will become exclusive to Spotify, including the video version of the podcast. It will be the exact same show. I am not going to be an employee of Spotify. We're going to be working with the same crew, doing the exact same show. The only difference will be it will now be available on the largest audio platform in the world. Nothing else will change. It will be free. It will be free to you. You just have to go to Spotify to get it. We're very excited to begin this new chapter of the JRE, and I hope you're there when we cross over. Thanks.
So I can tell you right now, guess who's gonna start using Spotify?
Me.
This motherfucker right
Dude,
here.
I used to listen to a podcast called The Last Podcast on the Left, and they went to Spotify, and I didn't download it. But now that Joe's going over, got to download it.
Right.
Fucking got the app finally.
Right.
And-
So and I think I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, what a sweet gig. He said, I'm not going to be an employee, but I
Right.
get a fucking
I don't
$100
have a
million.
fucking boss.
As
But I
long
get
as-
$100 million.
As long as he still gets to say whatever he wants,
Yeah.
right? Because that's a big thing about the Joe Rogan Experience
Yeah.
podcast. Sometimes he's gonna say, like we say, some shit that we
Yeah.
want.
Take your teeth out when you're sucking my dick, ho.
Yeah, but this
Sounds a lot
to
better when
me
you say it.
is like what Joe Rogan has always done. I think he is followed past that he likes, that he loves. Like so, his martial arts career leading to the UFC announcer. He fully admits, like, to him, the Fear Factor gig was just a paycheck. Like, he didn't like that.
Right.
He didn't want to do that.
Oh, dude,
and then,
what was it?
And then the stand-up comedy, and, like, he got into podcasting when it was, like,
It was just fun
he
for
fully
him.
admits, he's like, I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But now he's built it into an empire.
Right.
So,
But dude, you forgot about the comedy TV show that he was on at first. The Just Shoot Me or something?
News Radio.
News
He's on
Radio,
News Radio.
okay.
And I didn't forget about that. That was, I think News Radio was a very underrated show. I think it was hilarious. Kathy Griffin, Andy Dick, I forget who the older guy was, like the radio, the head of the radio station.
Yeah.
I
You know what?
forget
There was one episode with David Cross where it was the head guy's like little brother, and he had pretended like he was retarded for like 25 years just so he didn't have to work. And
I think that was a different program, right? That was the one with
no,
David
I gotta
Spade.
find it because you know what
That's
how we
with
got
David Spade. What was that show?
David Cross. That was the Just Shoot Me. That was Just Shoot Me.
Just Shoot Me, yeah.
So anyway, it's like David Cross is like pretending he's retarded for 25 years so he doesn't have to work, and he's at
Chicken pot,
he's at the bank, and the thing is going up in the thing, and it's like the guy's like this is how that works, and
If you can't remember any words, just use thing. That's
then
that's
David
right.
Cross goes, I'm pretty sure it's vacuum, so I'll find it.
Speaking of David Spade, there's a new Netflix movie called The Wrong Missy. I think it's pretty good. Mindy and I watched it this past weekend, but we ate a couple of edibles and we laughed our ass off. So
It could have been.
as far as how good it was, I don't know. We thought it was pretty fucking funny at the time, though.
Yeah, you could have been laughing at her finger in your butt because it tickles.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And he,
That was it.
David Spade actually
Or
plays
Tom,
a straight
maybe.
guy in that movie, right? Like he,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
not the comedic guy.
No, the Wrong Missy is definitely the physical comedian, physical comedy.
And who's the actress? Because I think it's
I don't know. I never heard of her before. I think
I
she's
heard
like
she was awesome.
yeah, she's like blows it out of the water. Mindy and I looked it up.
Like
I think
Jim
she was a
Carrey.
groundling or something. Yeah, like
The
very
groundlings?
like female version of Jim Carrey for sure. But
She very
that's what I
animated.
kept saying when we were watching this. I'm like, who is this person, and how come I haven't heard or seen of her before? And I think she's like, we looked it up. I think she was either a stand-up comedian or like some like the Groundling, which is kind of like an improv type training troupe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we were recently talking about Christina Applegate's comedic No, she's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead to Me. I watched that. I just finished the second season on Netflix. I think it's good. I fully, people would probably say it's a chick movie. I don't care. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It's good shit. It's good comedy, good timing, like good interaction with the characters, and yeah.
You don't know how I fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I know David Spade, his show Lights Out, it got canceled, unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, even though they were doing, at-home version of it. But he'll probably be podcasting that
Mindy
same
Sue
show.
says she is a big-time improv star and was on the show Orange is the New Black.
Oh, that's
Orange
right. That's
is the
right.
new
I do
Black.
remember that. Yeah.
And Pink is forever. That's what, I just want to put that up.
Yeah. Real men wear pink.
And Mindy
Not
Sue
me.
said, I've done things
I wear it
Roy
in
has
places.
never had to do with to be top fan. LOL.
Oh, so I'm
Maybe,
seeing a comment.
maybe. That's debatable.
Mindy Sue does a lot of good things. Trust me. You just have to trust me.
I'm not gonna dispute.
You're just gonna have to trust me.
What is it? The undeniable Mindy Sue? The
She
uncomparable?
is the
Uncomparable.
incomparable,
Incomparable
which
Mindy
is
Sue.
unable to be compared to.
Yeah.
Incomparable or
Incomparable.
unincumbent?
Well, you could pronounce it incomparable, but I say incomparable.
So are all these good adjectives, good descriptive words?
Yeah.
There you go.
Are they adjectives?
I don't
Maybe
think
they're
so. That's
adverbs.
action.
Maybe they're a conjunction, junction. What's your function? Maybe.
Looking upwards.
Conjunction, junction. What's
Your function.
The fucking what were those called?
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse
Schoolhouse
Rock.
Rock,
The only
yeah.
thing I retained from grade school.
Yeah,
Right?
that is
So those
basic
paint
my
chips,
education.
those paint chips didn't take that away.
Glue. Was
3 is a magic number. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Whose favorite was 3?
Man and a woman had a little baby.
No, like
That makes
our
3.
friends. Let's go. I'll even give you like a Papa John's era reference. Like who'd love that 3 one more than anybody? His favorite number.
Scott Power.
Scott Power, right? Shout out
Alexa,
Scott
how
Power.
much is
So
Joe
that was
Rogan
Scott
worth?
Power?
Powerful Scott Power.
Alexa, how much is Joe Rogan's net worth?
She's not even plugged in, is she?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Rogan is worth an estimated $100 million US.
that one's called Echo.
It said 100 million.
Yeah.
Echo, how much is Joe Rogan worth?
I'm not talking to you, Austin. Go
Joe
away.
Rogan is worth an estimated $100 million US.
Nailed it!
She's still mad at the fucking doo-doo on the tum-tum last week.
I don't blame her. I'm a little upset with that myself. I think MJ has some issues with it as well.
Dude, I guess that would deactivate your device for at least a month, and then she'll talk to you after.
Wait, is this one on my account or is that your own account?
That's mine.
Okay, good.
And that's Echo.
Well, actually,
How much is Joe Rogan worth? See?
Whenever I ask Alexa anything, like I'll just say, Alexa, what time is it? And she'll be like, Alexa, what time is it?
Take them teeth out when you sucking my dick, ho.
Well, that's just rude.
that is rude.
That's rude.
And it's not very informative because I still don't know what time it is.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, I know it's 6 to 9, I guess. Hey!
For some reason, that reminds me of that the Wedding Singer where Adam Sandler keeps saying, "You could have brought this to my attention yesterday."
Yesterday!
That was another good movie. Very underrated.
Yeah.
Which one?
Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer.
Okay.
I think like of all the Adam Sandler movies, like a lot of them get shit on, but they're good. Like
No,
Grandma's Boy,
Yeah.
and he did put out some stinkers. There were a couple one, but like,
I'm not a fan of Grown Ups, actually. I think it's.
I like it.
I think it's too. I don't know. Child audience.
When I watch that, I think about, okay, so these are people that were like pretty big, prominent actors / comedians as their younger years, and what they're using the Grown Up series for is just to like come together, like and hang out for like a couple months, shoot a movie, and then like make money off of it.
Yeah.
They literally just take a vacation, shoot a movie, and
Billy
make money.
Madison?
And it's also.
No, I'm talking about the Grown Up series.
The demographic is, I think, a little bit younger, so they get to a different audience as well.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's a rip-off of Wild Hogs.
Explain that.
You know the movie Wild Hogs
What's the one where they all dress up as
with
women?
Tim Allen
I don't know that.
and Martin, and John Travolta, where they were out
Yeah,
riding
it's a bad movie,
motorcycles.
right?
Yeah, but it's older guys.
What's the one where they got like Patrick Swayze and a bunch of other guys, John Leguizamo, to all dress up as women?
I don't know.
Mindy Sue would know.
Fish Called Wanda?
But yeah, I kind of watched Grown Ups through that lens of saying, like, I know it's probably not going to be a good movie, but they're just like basically time sharing a cabin and shooting a movie, and people are paying for it.
What was that movie with Patrick Swayze and John Leguizamo? Let me see. Alexa, what was the movie with John Leguizamo and Patrick Swayze? She's still
Where they
talking
play
to me.
drag queens.
This one's called Echo, Austin.
I know, I was trying to do the Alexa on my phone.
Yeah, you should practice this more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he had it down like he's got other stuff down, he'd be a master.
Right.
Vader.
Should I look for some stuff to talk about, or do you think we can keep this going?
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it rolling.
All right.
Go for years.
You think so? We can talk about the police brutality that just happened recently.
Oh
in
yeah, I never did
Minnesota.
look that up. So
In Minnesota.
what am I looking for?
I'm not 1,000% certain. Young man got
Minnesota?
choked out. I believe it was Minneapolis. Police.
Man, how do you spell Minneapolis?
If I'd speak it, I wouldn't be able to spell it.
Prince knows.
Yeah.
Kirby Puckett knows.
Oh, he would know.
He's dead though. Didn't Kirby Puckett die?
I don't think so.
Kirby Puckett?
Alexa, is Kirby Puckett alive?
Echo.
not talking to you.
Is Kirby Puckett alive?
Hear what you said to me?
So
Yeah, that's hilarious.
She's over.
Echo. Is Kirby Puckett alive?
This might answer your question. Kirby Puckett died on March 6, 2006
Bam!
in Arizona.
Take it too soon, Kirby.
We could play that game. Is Red Fox alive?
Oh no! Take
Okay.
it too soon.
This is a big one, Elizabeth.
Oh yeah.
Minneapolis police officers terminated after death of George Floyd. MSNBC. This was 3 hours ago. Is that it?
That sounds like a winner.
All right, let's do it.
And I'm glad that the cop was.
Hey folks, I'm Joe Biden. I'd like to ask you to join my campaign.
Okay, so
As I said,
I know this is
time
just
and
an
again,
ad for Joe Biden, but it makes me want to stop and pause for a minute, and I want to ask the question very seriously.
He does not have a chance in
Very,
hell.
no, not even that. Very seriously. Do you know anybody that voted for Joe Biden?
No?
How is he the nominee? Do you know anybody?
Well, he was VP for Obama.
Yeah, that
obviously.
doesn't automatically make you the nomination.
But that does mean that you voted for Biden when
Here-
you voted for Obama.
Yeah, Austin, I'm not talking about
Okay,
like
okay.
2 presidential elections ago. I'm talking about in the
Democratic
president.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. How did that happen?
That's my question.
The Democratic Party is
I
corrupt.
know a lot of people that voted for Bernie Sanders. I
yeah.
know one person that voted for Joseph Biden.
Dude, I would have went with Buttigieg. I would have voted for him.
I mean, even forget about that. Just forget about
Yeah.
Tulsi
How
Gabbard
did
and all
this
the other
happen?
candidates. All the other great candidates they had,
Yeah.
and now we're stuck with Donald Trump and Joseph Biden.
Right. 2 rich white men.
Who voted for Joseph Biden?
No, nobody I knew.
He's very well spoken though.
Biden ain't no country I heard of.
He is in the middle of a full mental breakdown.
He
I'm
could be.
convinced. He's got
I
a
agree.
cognitive dysfunction going on.
Maybe he's.
Did you
having
ever
a
hear him
long-term
communicate with
stroke.
other people? It's off. It's like something's not right about that. I think he's
All right.
getting.
That's the only point I wanted to make.
We're in a battle for the soul of this nation. That means not.
Dude, how about this? If
Breaking
you vote
news
for
just minutes
Trump, then
ago,
you're
the
not
mayor
black.
of
Did you hear
Minneapolis
that?
says 4 responding officers,
Wait, what?
He was doing some breakfast show, some radio show where he was being interviewed by a black guy that has a radio show in California, and Biden says to him, "If you vote for Trump, then you're not black." I swear to God, you can find that real easy. I'm gonna go make myself another drink.
All right.
Fact checker.
We'll put on this.
Breaking news.
Oh yeah. This is the kid that got shot, right? Or
Breaking
got-
news
got
just minutes
choked out,
ago. The mayor of Minneapolis says 4
Turn the light
responding officers in connection with the death of George Floyd have been fired. The mayor added, quote, "This is the right call. George Floyd died in police custody after an officer pressed his knee into Floyd's neck for at least 7 minutes. The episode was recorded by a bystander. We want to warn our viewers the video is very disturbing. You can see the officer crouched here. Witnesses say the African-American man on the ground, identified as George Floyd, repeatedly cried, 'My neck hurts and I can't breathe.'" A few minutes into the video, Floyd stops moving, but the officer kept his knee in place for several more minutes. The police department says the officers were responding to a report of a forgery. The department says the man was, quote, ordered to step out of his car. After he got out, he physically resisted officers. Officers were able to get the suspect into handcuffs and noted that he appeared to be suffering medical distress. Officers called for an ambulance. He was taken to a hospital where he died a short time later. At no time were weapons of any type used by anyone involved. No officers were injured in the incident. The family's lawyer tweeted out this picture of George Floyd. Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of Minnesota, released a statement in the last hour that reads, quote, "George Floyd mattered. Somebody loved him. His life was important. It had value. Whenever someone dies at the hand of law enforcement or state power, we owe it to everyone affected to investigate thoroughly. I'm confident that the values of accountability, transparency, and justice will be upheld. I will be a force for them."
Okay, so yeah, I agree with everything she said there at the end. Like,
Yes.
we don't know what happened. On its face, it looks like, I mean, that should be a murder, but who knows? Who
Yeah, it
knows?
sounds like another
Unacceptable.
It sounds like another innocent black man being murdered by
Here's
fucking police.
the thing: is
Forgery. Unacceptable.
and I'm just like thinking about, like, I'm looking at what those cops look like, and I'm gonna make a judgment here, and I'm fully admitting I don't know, but these were like overweight, doughy white guys, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put my knee on this guy's neck and not let him up until I know, whatever. But man, if you're a cop, you can't just be a fat ass. You
If you
have
look
to
up,
be
right. You think you'd have to be in shape.
You should be. You should be in shape.
If you
right?
look up Biden.
Here's the thing. Let's say everybody knows who Big John McCarthy is, right?
Right.
UFC ref, former cop. Like, he would handle a situation, right? He would handle a situation. He'd be like, "Hey, I need you to stand right there, right now. I need you to stand right there." And he's like a physical presence. Like, you're gonna listen to him, right? These guys were, I mean,
too many donuts.
Here's the thing: when you know martial arts, when you know jiu-jitsu, you're not over aggressive. You don't need to be, because if shit goes sideways, like we were saying earlier, you're gonna be all right, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think the day of cops being just like overweight and fat and doughy and not knowing how to like fight, like our cops need to be physical specimens. I think jiu-jitsu should be mandatory.
Yeah.
I think martial arts should be mandatory, and you just can't be a fucking fat piece of shit and be a
fucking
cop.
doughy asshole.
Because right away you're like, I need to physically take charge of this situation, because if this guy attacks me, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's my 2 cents.
I think one thing, no matter what, if a police takes a person in custody or detains them, they are responsible for that person's safety. And if there was no weapons, which they said there was no weapons, it's a forgery charge. It's not a aggravated battery.
Right.
It's not an assault.
He's not a violent criminal.
Not a violent criminal. You may want to think about excessive force.
Well, they did say he resisted arrest. I want to know what the resisting arrest is, right?
I've been on the other side of resisting arrest, and resisting arrest can be this.
Right. It's a very easy charge to throw out there.
It's a thin line,
right?
Between love and hate, and between resisting arrest.
Well, and you go back.
He said, she said, and if you got a badge, you have a little more clout when you get down to the station. As far as he said,
you can go back to a lot of arrest incidents to where resisting arrest was thrown out there, and you're like, well, what were you arresting for? what were you arresting him for? What was he resisting, right? And they're like, well, no, he was just resisting arrest. Well, if he's resisting arrest, why were you arresting him?
Exactly.
You have to have a reason.
There has to be another charge other than resisting arrest.
Right. What are you doing?
I'm looking for that sound bit of Joe Biden telling this black man that if he votes for Trump, then he's not black.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Do you want to play it?
He really wants to.
Feels thinks black women are such a loyal voting bloc, and black people saved your political life in the primaries this year. They have things they want from you, and one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered. Multiple.
Well, you know,
Thank you so much. That's
I believe
really
he's
your
talking
time.
about a sexual partner.
You can't do that to black media. You
I
don't
can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
To white media.
I'm in trouble.
Listen, you gotta come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community.
Play that again.
I got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see
Take a
you
look
right
at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. The world, I mean, come on.
He keeps
Take
putting
a
his
look at the
foot in his
record.
mouth, huh?
Every time he talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't have a chance against Trump, does he?
I don't know, man.
When-
Like, maybe. Like, I wouldn't count him out 100%.
I would.
But
It's the
yeah,
dude.
he's gonna have to change something.
Yeah.
Like something's got to change. There's gonna have to be like a
Strippers.
November surprise or something.
Yeah, I don't think you can reverse
Like,
a lobotomy.
I thought the fact that grabbed him in the pussy, like that November surprise, I'm like, oh, he's done. He's done. Like I believed that Trump was gonna win right up until then. I'm like,
yeah.
fuck,
Oh,
he didn't have a
yeah.
chance.
Fuck.
And then like, you know, we did the podcast Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And the election results started coming in, and I like, fuck, he's gonna fucking win. I think I said that on the podcast. Like,
Right.
he's actually gonna fucking win. Like, what the fuck? I didn't think we knew it until like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, but I think like,
Grabbing pussy is one of the political platforms that I really look forward to.
MJ's got a policy where he doesn't grope unless
what's that?
you don't grope unless.
I took a stance on the groping. I said very early after the Me Too movement started that I would only grope the women that were into it.
Right.
And
Makes
that,
sense.
yeah, I mean, that didn't go over well. A lot of people said that, you know, it was a fucked up thing to say. And I'm like, I thought I was being noble.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to grope the women that are into it, but the ones that are into it, like, you know, they need to be groped.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's going to do that for them,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Groped.
So I thought that I was being slut-shamed for actually
No reason.
saying that I was going to grope the women that were into it.
Right.
I really feel like I was the victim in all that.
Well, like you said, in this whole movement, everybody's a victim, right?
And you know what? I guess you can't claim revenge porn if you share it with all your friends.
I think that's what revenge porn is.
Yeah.
And I just like to say, Mindy Sue likes to be groped. So, you know.
Some
But
girls
just-
are into it.
Just
So
by
it
me,
worked
I
out.
think.
It worked out.
And
Yeah.
dude, you know what? I'm not a sexist, but I'm pretty good.
But I'll tell you what, though, you might want to take that ball gag out of her mouth and ask her next time.
Oh, I do. About every
No, and
about
that's
every
JK.
90 minutes I take it out. I'm like, are you all right? She's like, okay. Get that back in.
JK.
Get that back in there.
JK.
Now,
With the ball gag in the mouth, sometimes if it's a big one, you got to put the oxygen in the nose so
yeah.
they can breathe.
Oh, I always make sure she can breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I like to get the balls that
Bury
are
the
kind of
face
like,
in
they
the
call them
belly.
lifesaver balls. They have a hole straight through them.
Yeah. So you can breathe right there.
Yeah.
You never want to cut off the supply of oxygen. You never want to put, like your
Not
knee
for
on
more than
somebody's neck.
45 seconds.
Right.
No, it was 8 minutes.
You never want to put your knee on somebody's neck for what was it, 11 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. And after they quit moving, like, it's a dead giveaway. No pun intended, but I mean, when the
I see what you
person
did there.
is struggling, my neck, I can't breathe, and all of a sudden it's like,
And
Well-
do you know about fuck time?
This is an officer that's not trained in how to react, right?
Right.
Like,
Or
it's-
he was
it's a
trained
failure-
incorrectly. You
It's
know.
a failure in training.
Well, and they fired him real quick, so there's a lot more than, like you said, it's not just him that failed. That whole department failed. His trainer failed him. His boss failed.
The guy still selling him the donuts failed.
I'm just saying, like, I can
Well,
look
he
at
might have
those.
succeeded.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
look at
true.
those cops in the video and say, man,
What the fuck, fat boy?
yeah, if
Shameful.
if they wanted to like restrain me, it would take all 4 of them, right? Or 3 of them, how many were there? Like, one of them is not gonna be able to restrain me.
Right.
You know, the sad thing about it is if dude would have had a jelly donut on him, he'd have got out of that.
That's right. It's my last jelly. What movie's that from?
You know what I mean? It's a Strange Brew.
Yeah. It's my last jelly. Remember they have the thing on 3 and you just like,
And that's not to
Turn
make
up to
light
90,
because
eh?
that type of that really disgusts me. I feel bad for that person's family, but I'll tell you what, them cops ain't gonna be able to go
Hey,
outside
I've got a
and
PSA
flipping
too, that,
houses, Jay.
What was the original arresting charge?
Forgery?
Forgery. So you're like, hey, if you just had a jelly donut, be like, hey, it's a jelly donut. You guys split it 4 ways, and be like, yeah, forgery, not that big a deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody walks away from
Yeah.
this.
Everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner. If you had dough in the holes, throw them at them like seals. They'd be like,
What's up, Matthew Moffat? Digga Davis watching.
Well done,
Matthew
Matt
Moffat
Moffat,
says,
Digga
good show,
Davis.
guys. And dude, here's another PSA.
I'm showing I'm down to only 860 people watching. That can't
What
be
the
right,
fuck?
right?
No, I got the same number. Dude,
This ought to get the views
okay,
up.
Why is anybody watching tonight?
I don't know. Oh, just jumped up to 900. Here, check this out.
Oh, yeah.
PSA. Dude, don't wear the cock ring for more than 8 minutes. Set an alarm if you have to.
I will run 24/7.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that myth is blown out the window.
Yeah.
Are you wearing it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is it brass or do you wear one of the rubber
I
ones?
believe his is platinum.
No, it's a high alloy titanium metal mix, like
Right.
because you know the way my cock sits, like you know it sits and it hangs very high.
Yeah.
You gotta like grab it and you gotta like
It
restrain
was actually
it.
3D printed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It was. Yeah.
Do you remember when you were young, when you take your dick and push it down, it like slap you back in the belly?
Yeah.
Those days are over.
Yeah. Now it only hits me in the forehead.
Right. Yeah. Or in the chest.
Yeah.
But that's not your dick. That's
That was my dick.
For the people he's paying.
right.
Hey, I paid good money for that.
Right. And
Lance
just so you
Mueller is
know,
watching. Matthew Moffat.
with everything being
Wait,
lightened
is it
up, I
Larence
think
Miller?
Austin is going
Miller?
to start letting hookers
Lawrence,
spit in
yeah.
his mouth.
Yeah, I just listed her house in Pontiac.
Cool.
You should probably
Better
like,
keep it clean
tame
now.
it down a little.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We went to high school with her.
Who's that?
Lawrence. Her name's Lawrence Miller now. I don't know what her.
Mule.
No, it's Mueller.
Mueller, yeah.
What up, Lawrence Mueller?
And Minnie Sue's watching again. I think she hopped off and then hopped back on.
She does that.
Hey-oh,
She
she
does that.
does that. Hey-oh.
She's always game though.
Yeah.
She is now the top-rated star.
No, she's not top fan yet. She's gonna have to put in
Yeah.
her work.
Maybe you'd have to log off and log back in to get that top spot.
Maybe
Maybe
so.
just keep
Dude, now
doing
Roy Rambo's back on. So maybe they're
Oh,
fighting.
see?
Oh, yeah. Off, on, off, on. That sounds like MJ's last birthday.
And Minnie Sue gave a thumbs up to that. So she knows what she's doing, dude. She's smart.
Oh, yeah.
They're fighting for the top spot.
You got to fight for that #1 spot. And I'll tell you what, next week, live here, Austin, MJ, sumoing. Austin's got Roy.
Roy.
MJ's got Mindy.
Mindy says, I've done things Roy has never had to do to be a top fan.
I know, I saw that. I think I read that, but I read it wrong.
Actually, Mindy, Roy's done a few things that you have.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I need to break it to you now. Yeah, Roy's done pretty much everything you've done,
Right.
And then some.
And there's a
You
video.
know what Roy did?
And there's a video.
Roy tossed the salad.
Oh, yeah. No jelly.
You know what they make you do in prison?
Mindy's
Toss
not afraid
the
to toss.
salad.
Mindy's not afraid to toss a little salad every once in a
Yeah,
while. No,
that's good.
I'll do it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And I
that's...
reciprocate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you're gonna do that to me, yeah, I'll be.
I'm a
fan.
fan of Western
What's
dressing.
good for the goose is good for your asshole.
Whoa.
Oh.
Nah, that shit just got weird.
Oh.
Well, I did the goose thing because remember when we were young,
I'm
we'd
not
stick
gonna lie.
fingers up and
It did tighten
yeah.
when you said that.
Contracted.
Contracted, tightened.
And you know what? That's just a natural.
Contracted
That's just a
COVID.
natural response.
It
Yeah.
could be. It could be.
After all, we are the gaping yodelers.
Well, hey, We went live more than an hour ago, and I didn't have shit to talk about, and we filled an hour.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah, I think this is
Well,
an
you're
epic
always
show.
good. You're
Yeah.
always good.
Matthew Moffat says, I love salad.
I know Matt
And Roy Rambo
does.
says, I out.
I know Matt does.
Roy Rambo.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Roy.
Obviously, Matthew Moffat doesn't know about tossed salad, man.
Oh, Matt knows.
You know, if Roy was Cajun, he would pronounce his name Hoy.
Hoy.
Hoy Hambo.
Hoy Hambo.
Hoy Hambo.
Hoy Hambo.
Dude,
Hoy Hambo.
what's up, Marlo? What's up, Hart? But, dude, isn't Roy Rambo one of the coolest names you've ever heard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think that name was real.
And you know what? He's just as cool a guy as his name sounds.
Yeah, so we went out to Chinese
Love you, Roy.
buffet on our birthday. 2 years? Like, it was 2
Yeah.
years ago, right? Yeah.
He's helped me out several times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You drop a digit on you?
No, 2 digits.
Oh.
Yeah, Austin don't go for that
Really
one.
drop him.
I mean, one digit's just kind of like, yeah.
How about
Come on.
Army
Nah.
Hammer? That guy's got a cool name, right?
Who?
Army Hammer, isn't he the guy that played the Lone Ranger? In
Yeah.
the last movie with Johnny Depp.
Johnny
Okay.
Depp, yeah.
Okay, well, how about
Hammer.
this? I went to high school with a girl named Jasmine Singer, and we used to just call her Jazz Singer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Coco Crispy, the baseball
Or
player.
Paige Turner. I think she's a
How
porn
about
star,
Dick
though.
Kurtz?
I was just thinking that. We
Man, my dick hurts! Remember
Dick
Craig
hurts.
used to say that?
We all used to work for a guy
No,
named
was that you
Dick
that used to
Kurtz.
say my dick hurts?
Dick
Yeah.
hurts. Yeah.
Dude, you were his buddy. You'd play basketball with him.
Oh, we played basketball against Tricky.
Tricky
Tricky
Dick.
Dick.
Dude,
Yeah.
would you fuck with
Did
him
he
like
have-
that?
Did he
Yeah.
have moves?
Yeah.
Could
yeah.
he ball?
He used to play in college basketball. You know,
Are you shitting me?
And he had that big back end. You know, he was a big
Yeah.
guy. He was like probably
Yeah, I can
6'4",
see, like-
6'5".
I wouldn't want to try to like
Post him up.
back end into that ass, and like when he's driving to the hoop, I'm like, yeah,
And,
just
go
take,
ahead.
take
Go ahead,
the
it's just-
basket.
It's just a game.
Take
My
the
bro-
basket.
My brother Craig Murray would be like,
Come on, Tricky!
Are you
Give me
serious?
the ball, Tricky!
oh, he'd be
Wow, I
cracking me up.
I never knew you guys played basketball with Dick Kurtz.
Mhm.
Yeah, all the time. It
Me,
wasn't Waterson.
Craig, we used to go almost anywhere. We'd go over to
Almost anywhere.
O'Neill
Friskies?
a lot of time. You know O'Neill Pool over there where they have the basketball.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
Craig.
you guys played basketball with Dick Kurtz
All the time, yeah.
and
Apparently-
O'Neill Pool?
More than
Yeah.
once, huh?
What the
Yeah.
fuck, man? I never
Right.
knew that.
Me,
Did he
Craig,
remember- hey,
Dennis.
Remember
yeah,
his sister, Linda?
Linda? Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
She's alright. And you know who my favorite was?
The chef? was-
I
what was her
Leslie
name?
a lot.
Yeah,
Leslie.
she,
Leslie?
everybody likes
Leslie
her.
Harding. Shout out to Leslie Harding.
Yeah.
I see Gene every once in a while on the trail. When I take my bike up north, I'll see him like,
Oh, yeah?
that motherfucker's running all the time.
Dude,
Like,
is that her husband?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like a genius pastry chef?
Yeah, he's like the best pastry chef ever.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
awesome.
And yeah,
Cool
he's
dude.
fucking running like
Cool dude.
10 miles a day, every day, all day, every day.
Dude, I remember seeing a plate of his pastries that he produced, and it's just like beautiful. The colors, and
Diane.
it's like, I was just so amazed. Isn't that?
Who?
Who is Linda's friend, the bartender?
Oh, yeah.
The girl that spoke Spanish?
No.
She lived above us when we lived on Cloburn Court.
No shit.
Yeah, Linda and her, I think.
Oh.
Is that right?
Dude, sometimes when I think
Maybe
back, I
that's
was like,
not right. I think I'm getting Linda mixed up with somebody else.
dude, sometimes when I think back, it's like, were we on Cloburn Court there, or were we on Mulberry? And I remember some of the cooks coming over and trading baseball cards with us on Mulberry. So I think we were on Mulberry when we were at Piccolo.
Well, we definitely on Cloburn Court when I started at Piccolo.
Okay.
But we did move to Mulberry because I bought that house because we got kicked the fuck out of Cloburn Court.
Right. Remember what
wonder
Greg?
why.
Remember what Chef Greg bought you as a housewarming gift?
Yeah, a set of steak knives.
Yeah. Not a set of steak knives,
Chicago
but chef's
cutlery.
knives.
All
Not
right,
steak.
Greg.
Chicago cutlery, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg
What
Williams.
a great guy.
Powerful Greg Williams.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the
cool.
best. One of the best ever.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Big Freddie Mercury fan.
Let's end it on that. He was
Uh,
just a big music fan.
Big Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had this set up in his basement where he would just go down there and he just had a record player, like all kinds of records. He would just put the records on it.
Did he have a bunch of great?
His phone number was like 454 GROW 1. GRO1.
Yeah, I think he
right?
was one of the founding members of NORML, which
Yeah,
is the
well, yeah,
legalization of
yeah.
marijuana.
Yeah.
the
National
NORML.
organization.
And that's back. You know, marijuana. How is it still a Schedule I drug?
Well, it should-
Never
it
killed
should-
anybody.
Well, never kill anybody. People have gotten high and done dumb shit and killed themselves.
Oh,
but
yeah,
you can't. I mean,
but never a direct result from
Well,
the drug
I mean,
itself, like heroin.
it's not like drunk driving, right? Like
Yeah.
after alcohol.
Yeah.
It's a lot safer.
Yeah.
The
I
reason
drive a lot
why
better when
it's
I'm high.
a
You can ask.
level 1 drug is to keep the brown people in jail.
Yes, without a doubt, that's
And
true.
not just talking about blacks, Mexicans, all.
And you know who
and
did that
lower-
was
lower
William
income.
Randolph Hearst, and controlling the paper industry so that he could control his empire.
Yeah.
Do you know that's true?
You know what? Let's talk about this for a minute, because you mentioned brown and black people. The coronavirus is affecting them exponentially worse than white people. And I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and she broke it down. She explained it.
She's amazing.
Vitamin D she stopped short of saying that it would prevent the spread of coronavirus because she's a doctor and she has to. She can't.
Right.
You can't come out here and say shit like there's no peer-reviewed studies. There's nothing like that. But she said if you take it, at least 70% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. And if we talk about vitamin D3 specifically, it's up to 93%. The reason why that affects the African American community
Melatonin in your skin,
or even brown people, even Indian people and stuff like that is because they grew up in an environment where they are constantly getting sunlight.
Right.
So their body tones down the amount of vitamin D that the body can produce itself because they are in that sunlight. So now, like, let's say we take somebody from Nigeria and they're living in central Illinois and they're not getting out every day. They're not in the sunlight. And now we're even confined to our homes where we can't get out. Of course, their vitamin D levels are deficient, right? So if they get coronavirus, they're going to be adversely affected, like
Right.
very badly affected. So,
Especially Wesley Snipes.
Hold on, public service announcement. You should be supplementing vitamin D, specifically vitamin D3, but probably both of them. 5,000 international units apiece because it could save your life.
Right.
And even white people should be taking it because it's the same thing, but brown people and black people, vitamin D. Listen to the Joe Rogan Experience podcast.
You said
with
brown
Dr.
people
Rhonda
and black
Patrick.
people. Are you talking about light-skinned brothers and then dark-skinned brothers?
I'm just talking about anybody that's not white.
Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody that's not white.
PSA, all the single ladies, I got all the vitamin D y'all need. Hit me up.
But in yours, vitamin D?
I call it whatever.
Alright.
You know, it's a cute little thing. You guys gotta see
I thought yours was a D minor.
it. Hey.
Hip hop parade.
I'll tell you what, you go back door, it'll be a D double plus.
Okay, that's
AKA hot sticky cum.
all right. Moon Club
Peace
Podcast
out,
number
lunatics.
177?
Something.
Love you,
197.
Mike
197.
197. 3 more
We
before
out.
the episode 200 where we have Wayne Brady on.
We should just, I know a black dude named Elijah. Have him come on and just tell people he's Wayne Brady.
No shit. Dude, he can wear sunglasses.
Oh,